fair of me to ask that. He just I don't think I think maybe it's the way he plays at his size, but if you're getting it in the gym, then guess what? You especially at this age, he should be able to roll out of bed at what is he, 22, 23?
Yeah, right.
You should be able to roll out of bed and play 4 games back to back.
I
That
wonder if he. I wonder if you know those stories that um, that Doc Rivers would never run a play for KG on the first like 5 possessions because he was so hyped up that like he knew that KG would like break the backboard with how hard he would throw it against the rim on like any shot. I wonder if Claxton's just like very I don't know, maybe he like psychs himself out a little bit because he doesn't look like he'd be out of shape. It's like weird. I don't really get it.
he also should be bigger. Maybe that's just like he's never gonna be Chris Webber. He's not that body type. But I just feel like he should be more toned. He
Yeah.
doesn't look like he puts in the work. He's a freakish talent. Don't get me wrong. He's nice. Like I'm excited about this player. I think he's going to be a beast. But if you talk to him in his heart of hearts, he would tell you, yeah, maybe I don't really get it in the gym like I should. And I think that's probably why he's not going to start. Does he start, guys? Yes or no?
No.
No.
Yeah, that's I gotta agree.
And if anybody will be out of the rotation, it'll probably be him.
Yeah, that's I agree. I think he's gonna have games where he doesn't play that much.
That's unfortunate.
I
That's
don't agree with it, but the Nets seem determined to have every player on the floor be able to shoot the basketball.
which for me, it just I think that's a poor strategy because you one they're not gonna be able to do that, right? And when they try to stack that into the starting lineup, it takes away from what they could do with the backups. Nets could be a dominant team. They could be a dominant team if Steve Nash just learns how to stagger Kevin Durant and James Harden. That's going to be important to this. And if they're ever going to inject Kyrie, which based off of these, post game quotes from Kevin Durant, it doesn't sound like they are. And he kind of gave some somber responses. Like, if they're ever gonna put that guy in, I think they have to have lineups that are gonna accentuate him as well, which is putting
What did he
defensive
say?
guys in
I
there.
didn't catch that.
Um, I thought he had a perfect response to this whole thing. They asked him, why aren't you mad about the Kyrie situation? And Kevin responds, he's like, "What's being mad gonna do?" I I can't be mad at that. I agree.
He
like
had reading everything on Twitter. He had one of the best press conferences I can like imagine. Basically, a superstar having in light of what's going on.
I'm gonna have to watch that. I usually skip those, but
No, he if you read I'm like as we've been going, I've been reading all of his comments. He basically said like I understand that the media has a job that they're gonna have to ask questions about this, but like I got to do my job and like being mad isn't gonna do anything. And everything he said is completely right. And handling it like that is like that's why he's who he is and why he's a consummate pro and why Kyrie is who he is. I guess. You know?
I'm so grateful of Kevin Durant being the leader of this team
Oh yeah.
because with all of this madness and things that doesn't make sense, he could he could flail at it. Like let's say it was Charles Barkley who was the leader of this team, or if the coach was Tom Thibodeau. Like Tom Thibodeau would have blew a gasket over this Kyrie shit. Um, but I think it's as much as it bothers me and it infuriates me. Infuriates is wrong because I'm not so mad at it because I still think we have a good team. What really infuriates me is the part where guys in who the people who empower Kyrie to be this way are his fans, and they're not helping him. It doesn't help him to not critique him. It doesn't help him to walk into these in these lives and just be screaming hallelujah as Kyrie preaches. To have Kevin Durant be able to just be a leader like this, that's worth the contract in itself because it doesn't just reverberate to us. We matter in the form of the atmosphere around all of this. Like that's our role. The fans create the atmosphere around the team. The team have to be the things that basically generates that atmosphere. What that atmosphere is comes from Kevin Durant, and his responses was so good tonight. It's not like he said something, some Barack Obama type, lecture type, that just inspires you and makes you want to believe. He just was really basic about it and direct about it. And Kyrie's his boy, but he didn't act as a straw man for Kyrie. He didn't condone it. He just was responding to it like, listen, it's what it is, which I hate. I hate that term. I wish I didn't just use it. And right now, I'm putting the team in a position where it doesn't matter. Let's go. I love that, Matt.
I said this last year, like when we just kind of started to get to know these guys. Like Kyrie's Durant's a little bit like a dick. Like he's like a little weird on like social media, but like he's just like a normal dude. Like
he's a human being.
I don't see what the connection between them is. Like, what is the basis of their friendship?
Basketball.
Like, I don't think like
basketball.
Kevin is like gives a shit about like his heritage and stuff. Like
like
all this other stuff.
Dude, it's because the basketball player that Kyrie's father built, right, is the basketball player that Kevin Durant might have built. Skill wise, not size wise or Kevin Durant appreciates the art of basketball so much that he wanted to see what playing with a player like Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is so different from like a Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook is all fast twitch muscle. No, the part that Kevin Durant loves, that's not what, a dominant basketball player nonetheless, but that's not what Russell Westbrook does. He doesn't appreciate that type of basketball. The type of basketball Kevin Durant appreciates. The skill moves, the hesitations, the dribble counters, like those are the little details that impresses him and that connects the two of them, and it condones a lot of shit. But in reality, Kevin Durant is a straightforward type of dude. He's thinking to himself, "What the fuck is this bullshit?" Like,
100%. Every player in that locker room is rolling their eyes and be like Joe Harris, but like, man, fuck this idiot. Fuck this guy. Like,
I don't think Joe
also wouldn't do that.
And by the way, and by the way, they're completely right because like it's funny. I've like at multiple times I've said that I'm not going to tweet about this anymore, but I have such a reaction to it because I think it does combine like a combination of my favorite team coupled with an issue that's like decimated this country, coupled with like tribal political crap that I think is just weird the way that people have handled this whole situation. Like putting everything out on the table, right? Like he had about 5 months to 6 months to get vaccinated from the time that vaccines became widely available to when the de Blasio like executive order 225 was passed, and then he basically like did a whole song and dance at media day about how like it's all going to get worked out. It's all going to get worked out. Meanwhile, there's been no reporting at all. And like, I think as we all know, like City Hall and the de Blasio office has as many gaps and holes as like like the Navy does. Like it's, I mean, like it's crazy. And so like if he was going for an exemption, we would have heard about it. Like there's no doubt in my mind. Like we absolutely would know that he got it. Like Wiggins tried one, he didn't get it. If Kyrie tried it, there's no doubt in my mind that Kyrie, if he tried one, we would have known. So all this tells me is that like he basically kind of wanted to make some type of stand. And I think he honestly like manufactured this stand basically because the Nets made a decision that I don't know if he necessarily saw coming. And because make no mistake, it's not a coincidence that 3 hours after the Nets make their decision about practicing, then Kyrie leaks like a million different things to Shams. Like that didn't happen by accident. That's all of this stuff is calibrated. And you know, like Yves, I know. Yeah. Had some sign. And Yves, I know you're going to comment on this because like we've texted offline about this, but like, and you can tell by the way that what he's saying is like some manufactured mumbo jumbo that I don't think even he truthfully believes, because when he had actually time to speak on it, and supposedly he had like notes that he had pre-written and whatnot, like he said like nothing. It's like one of those things where like, you know, you say a bunch of big nouns like in a business meeting, and then when people actually parse it out, they're like, dude, what the fuck did this guy just say? Like, I feel like
he's like, you know, I'm gonna just be me and live my truth. Like, dude,
yeah,
what are you talking about?
I can also like I can also sound like a TikTok influencer by saying like a bunch of individualistic nonsense if I want to, but like I'm not winning anyone over by that. And make no mistake, it's not a shocker that the only people he won over from what he said are people who are basically young Kyrie sycophants and like Donald Trump and Ted Cruz.
Yeah,
like
Marjorie.
Marjorie Green.
It is shocking to me, that people can't see the just. I want to say this the right way, because if you say it wrong, it'll be utilized against you, and you'll have to live it down forever. Because what I don't want to say is, I don't want to say that Kyrie doesn't have the right to be who he is and to make the choices that he wants to make. He 100% has the right to do that. I like seeing young black men empower themselves and use the power that they have to not only enrich themselves but to enrich the community around them. What my problem with this whole situation is, is that it's what it says, not to me or to the fans, it's what it says to your teammates.
Yep.
19 of your teammates. I've tried to say it through Twitter, and I don't think it strikes people the way that it strikes me. But in practice in the park, it was like 60 or 70 employees, Nets employees out there of all races, uniquely Brooklyn people, and all of them were vaxxed. All of them were vaxxed. And at the same time, in those communities that these people come from, a lot of 50% of our people are not vaxxed. All of those people made to be there, to put on that show, to talk, to present the team to the borough. All of those people took that shot, and probably or may not. I don't want to stereotype anyone, but at the same time, people aren't really trying to take the shot in my community.
I think the most telling thing is when asked if he had spoke to Kyrie since the Nets essentially made their statement.
Yep.
Harden said no. I haven't spoken to him.
Yep.
He's just like, yo, fuck this. This guy's a fucking